You ever notice how English speakers are, like, obsessed with food? Even when we're not talking about eating, we say stuff like a piece of cake or spill the beans all the time. So today, we're gonna decode some more of these really common, kind of weird food idioms.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You're in a conversation, you're nodding along, trying to follow, and then bam, someone says something about a cucumber or a cup of tea, and it makes zero sense. You're just left there thinking, what just happened?
So you might hear something just like this. And you're thinking, wait, what does that even mean? Did Fahad bring a vegetable into the exam hall with him? Of course not. This is a classic food idiom, and we are going to break it down.
Okay, first up on our little menu today, as cool as a cucumber.
So what this really means is just being super relaxed and calm, especially when things get stressful. You know, that person who just doesn't panic when the pressure's on? And here's a cool little fact. This probably comes from how the inside of a cucumber is literally cooler than the air outside. Kind of neat, right?
So yeah, that big, scary exam, it didn't bother Fahad at all. He was just chill, totally focused, totally in control. It's the perfect way to describe someone who's great under pressure.
Okay, moving on to our next one. This is a big one, especially if you talk to anyone from the UK. Not my cup of tea.
This is just a really, really polite way to say you're not into something. You know, instead of saying, ugh, I hate that, you can just say, it's not my cup of tea. It's way softer, right? A much nicer way to say, no thanks.
So, for instance, if you're just not a fan of romantic movies, this is the perfect phrase to use. It gets your point across without making your friend feel bad for liking you. You're just saying, hey, that's just not for me.
All right, and for our final idiom today, and this is one you'll hear all the time, especially when people talk about business, it's selling like hotcakes. This one's pretty simple. It just means something is selling really, really fast and a ton of people want it. We're talking about things that are so popular, they're just flying off the shelves. You can't even keep them in stock.
Yep, this is basically the dream scenario for anyone with a shop. And the phrase probably comes from way back in the day, at fairs where fresh hotcakes were so popular they'd get sold the second they were ready. Okay, so let's do a super fast recap of what we learned. As cool as a cucumber means you're calm under pressure. Not my cup of tea is a polite way to say you don't like something. And if something is selling like hotcakes, it's super popular.
See, these food idioms add so much, well, flavor to the English language. But now I want to hear from you. What's your favorite food idiom? Or maybe one you've heard that just sounds totally bizarre. Go ahead and drop it in the comments below.